The day my sister-in-law tried to kill me was the day I realized just how far some people will go for jealousy. Picture this. My husband's birthday party. A backyard glowing with fairy lights, the air thick with laughter, and the promise of my pregnancy announcement. It was supposed to be perfect, until it turned into a scene straight out of a horror movie, with me as the unsuspecting victim, and my unborn child as collateral damage. The culprit? None other than Kayla, the family's resident drama queen turned would-be assassin. You'd think family ties would mean something, but apparently to her, they were just strings to pull or cut when it suited her twisted little games. Let me set the stage properly. I'm Emily, married to Harry for 7 glorious years, well, glorious except for one festering thorn in my side, his sister Kayla. From day one, she's been a walking red flag. The kind of person who'd start a fight in an empty room just to feel important. I tried to play nice, to win her over, but that's like trying to charm a cobra with a smile. Sooner or later, you're getting bit, and I've got the scars to prove it. When Harry and I started dating, Kayla wasted no time showing her true colors. She'd casually drop bombs like, "Oh Harry, remember how perfect your ex Lisa was? You should give her a call." All while sipping her wine with a smirk that screamed sabotage. It was so blatant, I almost admired her audacity. Almost. When that didn't work, she pivoted to whispering in Harry's ear that I wasn't good enough, that he could do better than plain old Emily. But Harry's no fool. He saw through her nonsense and stuck by me, which only fueled her vendetta. Then came the engagement. You'd think a sister would be thrilled, right? Not Kayla. She stormed out of our engagement party in a flood of crocodile tears because we didn't tell her first. "I'm your sister, Harry. I deserve to know before her," she wailed, as if I'd stolen her birthright. I stood there dumbfounded, wondering when the sister became the star of the show. Spoiler alert. In Kayla's world, she's always the lead. The wedding. Oh, that was her Oscar-worthy performance. She showed up in a black dress. Yes, black. Like she was mourning the death of Harry's freedom. She spent the reception flitting from table to table, lamenting how she was losing her brother to another woman. It was so theatrical, I half expected her to break into a soliloquy. My mother-in-law finally had enough and booted her out, but not before Kayla hissed at me. "You'll regret this, Emily." I brushed it off as melodrama. Big mistake. After we had our son, Nate, I wanted Kayla out of our lives for good. Her toxicity was a cloud I didn't need over my new family. But then she had a miscarriage, and my heart softened stupidly in hindsight. I thought maybe loss would humble her, teach her what matters. So I let her back in just a crack. She fawned over Nate, cooing and cuddling, and for a fleeting moment, I dared to hope she'd changed. Spoiler, she hadn't. Soon, she was back to her old tricks. Whining, blaming, stirring the pot like a witch over a cauldron. When Kayla married Jamie, I thought finally, she'll have her own life to ruin. Nope. Within months, she was on our doorstep, moaning about her awful husband and begging to stay. Harry and I, being the suckers we are, let her crash for a few days. Days turned into weeks, and suddenly, she was everywhere, questioning my gym routine like I was sneaking off to an affair, sniping at my cooking. Harry deserves better than this slop. And even asking at a family lunch, in front of everyone, if we had a prenup. When Harry said no, she smirked and purred. Cheats are everywhere these days. I wanted to throttle her, but I held my tongue, for Harry's sake. Then she crossed the line. At that same lunch, she leaned in and whispered, "Are you sure Nate's even Harry's?" My blood boiled. Harry snapped before I could, roaring, "You don't deserve to be a mother, Kayla. You're projecting your failures onto us." It was brutal, beautiful, and oh so true. She fled in tears, and we didn't hear from her for a year. I thought we were free. I was wrong. Fast forward to Harry's birthday party. Kayla showed up uninvited, all smiles and apologies. "I've been in therapy," she said, eyes wide with faux sincerity. "I want to make things right." Against every screaming instinct, I let her in. Call it pregnancy hormones or sheer exhaustion, but I bought her act. Biggest regret of my life. The party was magical. My in-laws had turned the backyard into a wonderland. Twinkling lights strung across the trees, flowers blooming in every corner, the air rich with the scent of grilled steak in summer. Friends and family mingled, their laughter a warm hum. Harry gave a toast, his voice thick with love. I'm the luckiest man alive to have Emily by my side. Then we dropped the bombshell. Our second child was on the way. Cheers erupted, hugs flew, and joy lit up every face. Every face except Kayla's. She stood there, lips pursed, eyes narrowed, like I'd just stolen her thunder. As I sat down to eat, she swooped over with a plate. Let me serve you, Emily, she cooed. To make up for everything. Suspicion gnawed at me, but I didn't want a scene, so I took it. Then I saw the shrimp. I'm allergic, deathly allergic, and Kayla knows that. My heart thudded. Was this a mistake? I set the plate aside, palms sweaty, mind racing. Jamie, sweet Jamie, piped up. I'll take it, I love shrimp. I handed it over without a second thought. 5 minutes later, he was on the ground vomiting, his face a sickly gray. Panic seized the party. Harry and Kayla rushed to Jamie, while someone dialed 911. I stood frozen, watching the chaos unfold, a horrifying realization clawing its way up my spine. That plate was meant for me. If I'd eaten it, I'd be the one dying, or worse, my baby would be. Fear gripped me, cold and sharp, as sirens wailed in the distance. At the hospital, the verdict came poison. Jamie pulled through, thank God. But I was a wreck, trembling with rage and terror. How close had I come to losing everything? Back home, Harry insisted we check the security footage. We need to know what happened, he said, voice steely. I nodded, my own resolve hardening. No way was I letting this slide. The footage was damning. There was Kayla, clear as day, handing me that plate with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. No mistake, no accident, pure intent. My fury erupted. She knew about my allergy. She wanted me gone. Harry's face darkened, his hands clenched into fists. My in-laws, watching with us, gasped in unison. My mother-in-law whispered, how could she? My father-in-law's response was immediate. We're taking this to the police. Kayla was arrested the next day. She crumbled under questioning, sobbing that she was pregnant too and couldn't stand me stealing her spotlight. I just wanted you sick, not dead, she wailed. Bullshit. That poison could have killed me, could have taken my baby. The judge saw through her lies. She got 10 years. Jamie filed for divorce, and I didn't blame him one bit. Looking back, I see the signs I ignored. The wine accidentally spilled on my dress, her smirk barely hidden. The slashed tires I blamed on vandals, conveniently after a week of her venomous jabs. The times I got sick after eating her food, coincidence, I told myself. Now I know better. She'd been testing the waters, building up to this grand finale. How could I have been so naive? Fear prickles my skin even now, thinking of all the close calls I dismissed. Weeks later, Jamie visited, still frail but alive. You saved my life, Emily, he said. I shook my head. No, I put you in danger. He grabbed my hand. If you hadn't noticed the shrimp, you'd have eaten it. You saved yourself and me by uncovering the truth. Tears stung my eyes as we hugged, bonded by survival. I'm just glad you're okay, I whispered. He smiled weakly. Me too. And your baby, she's worth it. 8 months later, Hope was born, our little miracle, a symbol of resilience. Nate adored her, his tiny hands gentle as he kissed her forehead. Harry and I grew stronger, our love forged in fire. But a piece of me still wrestled with Kayla's betrayal. So 6 months after Hope's birth, I went to see her in prison. She looked hollow, gaunt, defeated. Emily, she rasped. I didn't think you'd come. I needed answers, I shot back. Why? She stared at her hands. Jealousy. You had Harry, a family, another baby. I snapped when you announced it. I'm sorry. Fury flared. Sorry. You nearly killed me and my child. She flinched. I don't expect forgiveness. I'm getting help, therapy, meds. I want to change. I studied her, torn between pity and rage. I hope you do, Kayla. But I'm done. My family comes first. She nodded, tears falling. Congrats on your daughter. Goodbye, I said, walking away, a weight lifting with each step. Kayla's behind bars, and we're healing slowly but surely. It's been a year since the trial, and though the physical scars have faded, the emotional ones linger like shadows at dusk. Some nights, I still wake up gasping, the image of that poisoned plate seared into my mind, the bitter taste of betrayal sharp on my tongue. But then I feel Harry's steady breathing beside me, hear the soft coos of hope in her crib, and I'm grounded again. We survived together, and that's a victory Kayla can never take away. Our home has settled into a new rhythm, quieter but laced with a hard-earned peace. Hope, our little miracle, is 8 months old now, all chubby cheeks and bright eyes that light up every room. Nate, at 4, has taken to his big brother role with a tenderness that melts me. He'll sit by her side, reading picture books in his halting, earnest way, or gently pat her head as she babbles. Watching them together, I feel a love so fierce it almost hurts, a reminder of what we nearly lost and what we fought to protect. Harry and I have grown closer through this ordeal, our bond tempered by fire. He's more vigilant now, his gaze sweeping every corner of a room, as if daring the world to threaten us again. I've changed too. Trust, once given freely, is now a guarded gift. But with Harry it's different, it's unshakable. We've rebuilt our life, brick by scarred brick, and though the foundation bears cracks, it's stronger for it. We've even started dreaming again, small dreams, like a family trip to the coast, or maybe another child down the line. They feel monumental after everything we've endured. My in-laws have been our unexpected anchors. They grieve the daughter they thought they knew, but they've chosen us, chosen love over the blood tie that betrayed them. It's not easy for them. My mother-in-law wrestles with guilt, her voice trembling as she wonders aloud where she failed Kayla. "We gave her everything," she said one night, tears spilling over. "How did we miss this?" I squeezed her hand and told her what I've come to believe. Kayla's darkness was her own, a choice no one could have foreseen. My father-in-law is quieter in his sorrow, but his resolve is iron. He's the one who pushed for the police report, who stood beside us in court. They visit Kayla in prison sometimes, a duty they bear with heavy hearts rather than hope. "She's still ours," he says, his tone weary. "But what she did, it's a wound that doesn't heal." Their support has been a lifeline, and they've even started therapy, determined to mend what's left of their family. Jamie, bless him, has clawed his way back to life. The poisoning left him fragile, physically and emotionally, but he's tougher than he looks. He's moved to a new city, started over, and last I heard, he's dating someone new, someone kind, someone who doesn't carry a dagger behind her smile. We stay connected, trading texts every few months, our bond forged in the crucible of survival. During his last visit, he looked me in the eye and said, "You saved my life, Emily. If you hadn't spotted the shrimp, I'd be gone." I tried to protest, but he shook his head. "You saved us both by seeing her for what she was." His words still echo in me, a bittersweet balm on the guilt I carry for dragging him into Kayla's crosshairs. Kayla herself is a shadow of the woman she was. From the little I've heard, whispers from my in-laws, she's in therapy behind bars, unraveling the knots of jealousy and rage that drove her. Part of me pities her, this broken shell of a person who threw away everything for spite. But the other part, the part that still flinches at unexpected noises, that checks every plate before I eat, can't forgive her. Not yet. Maybe not ever. I saw her once 6 months after Hope's birth, driven by a need for closure. She looked gaunt, her bravado stripped away. "I'm sorry," she whispered, eyes downcast. "I just wanted you out of the picture, not dead." I didn't buy it. Her sorry felt like a hollow plea, not a reckoning. I left her with a cold goodbye, choosing my family over her redemption. The family dynamics have shifted irrevocably. Trust, once the glue that held us together, is now a fragile thread, rewoven with caution. My in-laws tiptoe around us at times, as if afraid to stir old wounds, but their love shines through in small acts, cooking meals, babysitting Nate and Hope, rebuilding what Kayla shattered. Harry and I have learned to lean on each other more, to talk through the nightmares instead of burying them. And me, I've learned to trust my instincts, to heed that quiet voice that screams when something's off. If someone's poison, I cut them out, no hesitation, no excuses. It's a lesson written in blood, but it's kept us safe. Sometimes, I still glance over my shoulder, half expecting Kayla's shadow to creep back into our lives. Her sentence stretches years ahead, but the fear lingers. What if she gets out? What if she hasn't changed? Then I look at my family. Harry tossing mate in the air, Hope giggling in her high chair, my in-laws smiling over a shared meal. Love drowns out hate, I remind myself, and what we've built is stronger than her malice. For now, we're healing day by day, step by step, and that's more than enough.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends. And if you'd love to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you never miss a new upload. See you in the next video.